Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and I'm currently reading Vita Nostra by Sergei and Marina Dyachenko. So today I want to do that thing that everybody tells you not to do. I want to judge some books by their covers. So I've had my partner download some book covers. We're going to take a look at them and then I'm going to try to guess what I think the book is about and then also its Goodreads rating. And then we're going to go on Goodreads and see if I was correct. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to pull up the first cover now and have a guess at what it's about. So this book's called Psyche and Eros. So if I am remembering correctly, those are both from Greek mythology. So I feel like it's a fairly good guess to say this is probably like some sort of Greek mythology retelling. I think it's probably like a YA book, judging by its cover, like YA fantasy. I'm gonna guess that like it's maybe like a love story as well. Like Eros is some sort of love god thing, so maybe this is like he usually is like matching people up. Maybe in this story he finds his own true love with Psyche, and then I don't know, I assume that probably has like some effect on him doing his like godly duties. That's what I would guess. I haven't heard of this book, so I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the Goodreads rating is probably 3 stars. Yeah, so my final thing is gonna be like 3 stars Goodreads rating, and it's Psyche and Eros' love story, and it's like YA fantasy. So let's go ahead and check that. Okay, so I have the Goodreads page pulled up. I'm gonna go ahead and read the little synopsis. So, according to Goodreads, this book is about a prophecy that claims Psyche, princess of Mycenae, will conquer a monster feared by the gods. Loved by her family but at odds with her society's expectations for women, Psyche trains to become a hero, mastering blade and bow. When Psyche angers Aphrodite, the love goddess enlists Eros, god of desire, to help deliver a cruel curse. Eros is the last born of the eldest gods, dry-witted and jaded, unsure of his place in the cosmos. The last thing he wants is to become involved in the chaos of the mortal world. But when he pricks himself with the arrow intended for Psyche, Eros is doomed to yearn for a woman who will be torn from him the moment their eyes meet. A joyous and subversive tale of gods, monsters, and the human heart and soul, Psyche and Eros dazzle the senses while exploring notions of trust, sacrifices, and what it truly means to be a hero. Okay, so I was kind of right. Like I said, it was going to be like an Eros-Psyche love story. The only thing I just didn't get that like it was going to be because he pricks himself with his arrow and he's supposed to be doing a curse thing. I think I was pretty close. And then the rating, okay, the average rating is actually 3.82. So that's quite a bit higher than what I guessed it was gonna be, but I think I was right in like the major points. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next cover we have here is called The Seven Moons of Molly Almeida. And this is like a really bright and fun cover. Going by the title, I would guess that it's probably sci-fi, just because, you know, moons, space, that's usually kind of involved in science fiction. Wow, okay, the cover is like a lot. It's so bright and fun. Like, okay, I'm gonna guess it's a story. It takes place on a distant planet that's called Molly Almeida, and I guess it has probably 7 moons. I think it's probably got something to do with like gods or like crazy aliens, and like the mortals living on this planet are trying to deal with the gods, and maybe the gods are trying to punish them for some perceived wrong. And I'm gonna guess that the rating is, I'm gonna go 3.7 because I feel like the cover is really good. So, okay, I was closer with the rating this time. The book has an average of 4.03 stars. So, I mean, I was about 0.25-ish off. That's pretty good. But, okay, let's read what this is actually about. Okay, I think I was probably very wrong. So, Colombo, 1990. War photographer, gambler, and closet queen. He is woken up dead in what seems like a celestial visa office. His dismembered body is sinking in a serene Bureau Lake, and he has no idea who killed him. In a country where scores are settled by death, squads, suicide bombs, and hired goons, the list of suspects is depressingly long, as the ghouls and ghosts with grudges who cluster around can attest. But even in the afterlife, time is running out for Molly. He has 7 moons to contact the man and woman he loves most and lead them to the photos that will rock Sri Lanka. Okay, that is so far off from what I was guessing. Has nothing to do with gods and distant planets, and by moons they meant like moons as in moon cycles like months. Okay, that does sound interesting though. I'd be kind of interested to pick that up. It's probably more interesting than what I was saying because I feel like that's probably been done enough times, but okay, yeah, I was 100% wrong on everything except for I was close on the rating. Okay, the next book we have here is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I am gonna guess that this is just like literary fiction, just because the cover does not scream fancy. To me, it says literary fiction. I feel like it's probably about like relationships between people. Like, I don't know if it's romantic or just like platonic, but I think the image of like birds is often used to describe like freedom versus like captivity. So maybe it's about a woman who feels trapped in her life and in her relationships. So she wants to break free of her life and of her cage and make something new of herself. I feel like I've heard the name Donna Tartt before, so I feel like she might be a good author. So I'm gonna guess that the rating on this is, I'm gonna go 3.8. Okay, I was really close on the rating with this one. Its actual rating is 3.93, so I was only like 0.13 off, so I'll take it. Anyway, so what is it actually about? It is about Theo Decker, age 13, son of a devoted mother and a reckless, largely absent father, survives an accident that otherwise tears his life apart. Alone and rudderless in New York, he is taken in by the family of a wealthy friend. He is tormented by an unbearable longing for his mother, and down the years clings to the thing that reminds him most of her, a small, strangely captivating painting that ultimately draws him into the criminal underworld. Okay, so I was not very close with this one either. It does kind of touch on like some of the elements that I was guessing about, like relationships, but this is more about like familial relationships, I guess. And yeah, okay, that's pretty much the only part that I got there. The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. Ooh. Obviously this book is probably about libraries and literature and books, if I had to guess by the title. But I feel like it's probably fantasy, just because like the title cover has fantasy vibes and Invisible Library is kind of fantasy vibes. I feel like maybe this kind of follows like Library of Alexandria vibes, where like there's a hidden or like a lost library and there's like some scholar who has dedicated his life to trying to find this library, and it's about his journey to find this library and then finding it, and he uncovers something he didn't mean or didn't expect to find there. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. And then I haven't heard of this, and the cover is kind of simple, so I would guess maybe it is a 3.6 stars on Goodreads. Let's check it out. Okay, so I was off with the rating, but I was close. It was 3.74 and I said 3.6, right? Yeah, that was pretty close. I'm happy with that. So what is this actually about? So it says, Irene is a professional spy for the mysterious library, which harvests fiction from different realities, and along with her enigmatic assistant Kai, she's posted to an alternative London, their mission to retrieve a dangerous book. But when they arrive, it's already been stolen. London's underground factions seem prepared to fight to the very death to find her book. Adding to the jeopardy, this world is chaos infested, with laws of nature bent to allow supernatural creatures and unpredictable magic. Irene's new assistant is also hiding secrets of his own. Soon, she's up to her eyeballs in a heady mix of danger, clues, and secret societies. Ooh. Okay, so I was very wrong again. Yeah, she's not looking for some magic library. She works for some magic library. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So far, not doing so good. I kind of got the first book a little bit, but since then we've just been all 100% misses. I mean, I'm not totally surprised. Like, it's hard to guess what a book's about just from like an image of a cover and no like other information, but let's see what the next one is. All right, now we have Elder Race by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Okay, I know Tchaikovsky writes sci-fi, so we know it's sci-fi. I'm gonna say it's about like an ancient alien race that like comes to this place where these people are and they need something. I don't know what they would need. Maybe they need some resources or something from the planet or help that only these people can give. So they're trying to make a deal to get that. And then this person, the like main character, ends up having to go off with them to do some quest or something, and chaos ensues. I haven't actually read anything by Tchaikovsky, so it's hard to, I can't guess based on like other plots by him. Like all I know is that he writes sci-fi, so yeah, I'm gonna guess that that's what it's about. And then I feel like this is maybe like a 4.2 stars on Goodreads. Okay, it is a 4.16 stars, so I was only 0.04 off, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. And then it is actually about Lyonesse, a lower fourth daughter of the queen, and always getting in the way. But a demon is terrorizing the land, and now she's an adult. And although she still gets in the way, she understands that the only way to save her people is to invoke the pact between her family and the elder sorcerer who has inhabited the local tower for as long as her people have lived here. So it's kind of like some similar elements, like I guess this sorcerer guy. I don't know if he's even human or not, so he could be kind of like an elder ancient alien kind of thing. And she doesn't want to make a deal with him. But other than that, pretty much everything is wrong again. Oh well, it's fun. Okay, now we have The Weight of Ink by Rachel Kadish. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is probably literary fiction. Just the cover just gives that vibe. Maybe it's about a young person who wants to be a poet and they're trying to break into like the literary world and the like circle of poets that are all like tightly knit. And then along the way they learn about how impactful language and writing can be. And that's kind of like a vague summary, but it's hard to guess. There's not much on this cover. There's just like some leaves, but I mean, that could just be decoration. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I feel like this cover isn't giving me high rating vibes, so I'm gonna go with 3.1 stars. Okay, I guessed too low for the rating. The rating is actually 4.1 stars, so a whole star above where I was guessing. But let's see what this is about. Set in London of the 1660s and the early 21st century, The Weight of Ink is an interwoven tale of two women of remarkable intellect. Esther, an immigrant from Amsterdam who is permitted to scribe for a blind rabbi just before the plague hits the city, and Helen Watt, an ailing historian with a love of Jewish history. As the novel opens, Helen has been summoned by a former student to view a cache of 17th century Jewish documents nearly discovered in his home during renovation. Enlisting the help of Aaron Levi, an American graduate student as impatient as he is charming, and in a race with another fast-moving team of historians, Helen embarks on one last project to determine the identity of the document's scribe, the elusive Aleph. Okay, so again, I was wrong. It does have to do with writing, so I got that part right, but the wrong kind of writing. She's a scribe, not a poet, and it seems like it's more about like the politics of history compared with the life of this woman who is the immigrant. Next we have She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Okay, I've heard of this book, but I don't actually know what it's about. I'm pretty sure it's fantasy. So I feel like we can go ahead and say that it is about a girl who there's like images of soldiers, it looks like, on the cover, so I'm gonna say she becomes like a military general or something, and maybe she can also wield magic, and she leads the country in a fight against some big evil. I'm gonna say it's like a neighboring country who have gotten too big for their britches and they want to take over, but they're supported by some darkness, something evil. And I feel like this has got a high rating. I feel like this is like 4.4? Sure. Okay, this actually only has a 3.9 stars, and that's still pretty high, but not as high as I was guessing. And it is about a famine-stricken village on a dusty yellow plain. Two children are given two fates. A boy, greatness. A girl, nothingness. That doesn't vibe with what we guessed so far. In 1345, China lies under harsh Mongol rule. For the starving peasants of the Central Plains, greatness is something found only in stories. When the Zhou family's eighth-born son, Zhou Chongba, is given a fate of greatness, everyone is mystified as to how it will come to pass. The fate of nothingness received by the family's clever and capable second daughter, on the other hand, is only expected. After her sanctuary is destroyed for supporting the rebellion against Mongol rule, Zhou uses the chance to claim another future altogether, her brother's abandoned greatness. Ooh, okay. The main parts of this are definitely quite different. I guessed it was fantasy. It seems like it's more historical fiction, so that's definitely different. But I feel like the idea of like the woman who becomes like a great like ruler or leader like could be in here. I'm guessing that maybe something more like that happens in the next book because it seems like it's a series. yeah, mostly different, but I feel like I got the vibe, you know? It's about a girl who is gonna be great. Okay, next we have Heart of the Sun Warrior by Su Lin Tan. I have also heard of this one, but I don't exactly know what it's about. I know it's fantasy. I feel like there are gods involved. Maybe this one is what I said last time. There's a girl who's a great warrior. Because I think that it's about a female main character. So yeah, I'm gonna guess it's about a female main character who is blessed by the gods as this sun warrior who wields some sun magic, and because it says heart, I'm gonna guess that she falls in love, but she's not allowed to be in love because she's supposed to be this warrior off defending humanity or whatever. And so it's the story of her trying to decide what she wants more, whether she wants to follow her heart or be the sun warrior. And I think this is probably like a 4-star. Okay, 4.1's 4 stars, so I was pretty damn close. I'll take that. And then what is actually about? After her perilous quest to free her mother, Xing Yin thrives once more in the tranquility of her home, but her fragile peace is threatened by the discovery of a strange magic on the moon and unsettling changes in the celestial kingdom as the Emperor tightens his grip on power. While she is determined to keep clear of the rising danger, the discovery of a shocking truth sparks her into a treacherous confrontation. With alliances shifting quicker than the tides, she has to overcome past grudges and enmities to form a new path forward, seeking aid where she never imagined she would. After an unspeakable terror sweeps across the realm, she must uncover the truth of her heart and claw her way through devastation to rise against this evil before it destroys everything she holds dear and the worlds she has grown to love, even if doing so demands the greatest price of all. Okay, so it's definitely mostly different from what I got, but at the end there, it kind of like is similar, where she's like trying to discover what her heart wants, it sounds like, but then she also has to fight off this evil. So I'm gonna say that I kind of got some of that. I didn't get most of it, but I'll take some. Some is better than what we've been getting for most of this. Okay, then we have Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I do kind of know about this one. It's definitely a Greek mythology retelling. I don't know exactly what happens in this one. I can't remember who Ariadne is. Is that an actual Greek figure? I'm gonna guess it's about a mortal woman who, after an encounter with the gods, has to go on this quest to complete their wishes. And then along the way, she meets a cast of other Greek mythology characters that we've heard about. Maybe she falls in love, and that interferes with her ability to complete the task. And the gods are gonna take revenge if she doesn't solve the problem. And this one I think is definitely a highly rated one because I know I've heard of it before. I'm gonna go with 4.2 stars. Okay, this one's actually 3.82. I mean, it's close-ish, but not super close. Anyway, so this is about Ariadne, Princess of Crete, grows up greeting the dawn from her beautiful dancing floor and listening to her nursemaid stories of gods and heroes. But beneath her golden palace echo the ever-present hoofbeats of her brother, the Minotaur, a monster who demands blood sacrifice. When Theseus, the prince of Athens, arrives to vanquish the beast, Ariadne sees in his green eyes not a threat but an escape. Defying the gods, betraying her family and country, and risking everything for love, Ariadne helps Theseus kill the Minotaur. But will Ariadne's decision ensure her happy ending? And what of Phaedra, the beloved younger sister she leaves behind? Okay, I forgot Ariadne was the person in the Minotaur story, or maybe they never say her name and she just made one up. I don't know. Okay, so it's mostly different, but like there are like elements of betraying the gods, like I said, for love. So I think I got kind of like some of the main ideas in there, actually, to be fair. All right, next we have Nightfall by Asimov. Ooh. Okay, oh, this is Nightfall and Other Stories. I'm gonna go ahead and try to guess just for Nightfall. I know Asimov is sci-fi, and he's kind of like one of the older sci-fi writers who a lot of stuff now takes inspiration from. So Nightfall, it kind of looks like a cityscape in the bottom of the image, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. And then a moon or something that kind of looks like it might be falling. I'm gonna guess that is a story where an alien, like a spaceship, arrives at Earth, and one of the things it does is cause a permanent night. so that nothing grows and humanity is getting desperate and they have to try to find a way to deal with this spaceship and get it to either go away or communicate with them so they can be like, hey guys, you're kind of killing us all. Because it's Asimov, I feel like it's probably highly rated. I'm gonna go with 4.4 stars. Okay, so this one is 4 stars, so I was close. And it looks like it might have been a short story because it was published in a magazine. I'm not totally sure if it's a full length or not, but anyway, it says, imagine living on a planet with 6 suns that never experiences darkness. Imagine never having seen the stars. Then, one by one, the suns start to set, gradually leading into darkness for the first time ever. Kalgash is a world on the edge of chaos, torn between the madness of religious fanaticism and the unyielding rationalism of scientists. Lurking beneath it all is a collective, instinctual fear of the darkness. Okay, so that's pretty different from what I was guessing. I mean, it does involve a night falling and presumably staying around for longer than it is welcomed. But other than that, it's pretty different. It's obviously not set on Earth, and it's about more a natural sort of disaster than aliens showing up and ruining everybody's day. Okay, it looks like that was our last book cover, so overall I did pretty badly. For the ratings, I was more often than not within like 0.5. There's a couple times I was off by more than that, but I pretty much always got the synopsis like totally completely wrong. There were a few where I was kind of close, more like along the lines of having some similar like themes or concepts in there, but yeah, for the most part I was totally wildly off, which is to be expected. I guess just proves that maybe you really should not judge a book by its cover. Anyway, that is all I have for you today, so thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.